Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be diving into the new product launch from Hermes. Now I sound really nasally, I do apologize. Like I mentioned in yesterday's video, I am just now getting over a really bad cold. I was congested, I lost my voice, I couldn't breathe, like it was miserable. That's the reason why I haven't been uploading recently, but I am back, so I apologize for my nasally, crazy voice, but I could not wait to get my hands on this new product from Hermes, do a full video for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So these are the new Plein Air Healthy Glow Mineral Powder. Now these come in 5 different color variations, and even though Hermes is calling them like a mineral powder healthy glow, they're basically like a bronzer. They are available now at multiple retailers, and I will link them all down in the description box down below. But let's go ahead and get into the description of these. These are each retail for a whopping $105. They are very, very pricey. You get 18 grams worth of product, which is 0.63 ounces, so a little bit over a ½ ounce worth of product, and they're made in Italy. Now, they're being described as a bronzing powder that features a range of shades that leave a semi-matte veil of finely iridescent pigmented powder on the skin, illuminating it with a natural warmth. Depth is added progressively as the skin comes to life. Formula is composed of 88% ingredients of natural origin, and it helps to blur imperfections and unify the complexion while caring for the skin thanks to the hyaluronic acid derived content. So that's pretty much the details on these. Now, like I mentioned, I went ahead and grabbed 2 shades. I probably only needed one, but I was so intrigued by shade 4 with the red undertone. So I went ahead and grabbed shade 3 and also shade 4. Now, for shade reference, I am a medium with a warm undertone, and I will leave a list of popular foundations out on the market and what shades I wear in those foundations, so you guys can get an idea of my complexion, how both shade 3 and 4 look on my complexion, just so you guys can use it as a reference. Now, I will also be swatching shade 3 and 4 next to a ton of bronzers in my collection. You guys know I love to do tons and tons of swatches and comparisons, just so that you guys really know what you're getting. Especially with luxury makeup, I think that swatches and comparisons are so incredibly helpful. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the application. I'm going to apply shade 3 and 4 on my skin. Then we will get into the swatches and comparisons, tons of images there. Then once we get through that, I will come back and I will jump into my final thoughts, and I will let you guys know if I feel like these are worth a whopping $105. So let's go ahead and get into the application, and I'll see you guys all in my final thoughts. Let's go ahead and jump into these new bronzers. So I have 2 shades, like I mentioned in the intro, and the reason why I bought 2 shades is because I didn't know what to do. And with like summer, praise God, summer being like right around the corner, you guys, I cannot wait till we have summer, but I just didn't know which shade to do, so I got both. I just got the box wet from sitting on that makeup wipe, but whatever. So this is what the box looks like, just like their powders and their blushes, kind of the same packaging, just much bigger. So let me show you guys what it looks like next to the blush. So it's just a little bit bigger, kind of the same though. And if you guys watched my review of the blushes, I didn't have anything negative to say about the formula. It's a really kind of creamy, buttery formula, but I just expected the packaging to be so much better because it is Hermes and it's so expensive that I just expected it to be much more luxurious than what it is. But I have to admit, the Permabrass highlighter is the exact same packaging as the blush, and I overlook the packaging because this, to this day, in my opinion, is the most natural, the most beautiful, just luxurious, gorgeous highlighter that I have in my collection to this date. You can see that I have used the heck out of this. I've almost lost all of the embossing, and this is the most natural, but yet absolutely stunning. So I overlooked the packaging because I love the highlighter so much. But with the blush, I have a lot of great blushes in my collection that I actually reach for more than I do the Hermes blush. So therefore, it just hasn't really justified the spend on this. That's just my opinion. But with all of that said, we'll see how these powders work. We'll see how these bronzers work, right? So this is the shade Sahara. This is number 3, Sahara, and this is 04 Sienne. So you can see that this one is a tad bit darker. And of course, I will swatch both of these shades next to a ton of bronzers that I have, so you guys can see how the shades compare and which one might be better for you, because I just would never recommend buying 2 shades of this bronzer. Okay, right. So I have a couple of different brush options here. I have this one from BK Beauty. This is the 107. This is a really good bronzer brush, and I really enjoy it for synthetic. And then I also have the Nishi Pro from Sonia G, which is natural. So we'll just kind of test out the formula and, you know, see which brush I think maybe applies better or more forgiving, you know. But this powder seems to be extremely buttery and just feels really good. So I don't suspect that this is going to be a hard formula to blend out. I really don't, but you never know. So this is shade 3 and this is shade 4. And you'll notice that shade 4 has a little bit of that redness to it. And I love a red bronzer, like a red base bronzer in the summer. That's this time that I would love to like pull out my Chanel bronzer that I have that has that redness to it. The Healthy Glow, the creamy one. I think it's the 395. So I'm going to put shade 3 Sahara on this side, and I'm going to use the synthetic brush from BK Beauty. So I'm going to tap into it and then kind of tap it off. And synthetic works great. I'm a little bit nervous because this is a perfect shade for me. And now I'm a little bit nervous about shade 4 because it might be too dark. But I'm gonna take the Nishi Pro from Sonia G, which is a natural hairbrush, dip into Sahara, and tap it up here on the forehead. It's really, really natural. As you can see, it's an exceptionally natural formula, like kind of buttery in a sense. Really, really nice as far as a powder goes. I'm going to wipe the brush off. I'm going to tap into shade 4, and I'm going to really, really, really tap off because it's a little nerve-wracking, but I am going to apply it on this side, but just being kind of gentle with it, because it's a little dark for me. It's blending out really nicely. It is. But if you look on my complexion, I mean, I don't know if it's showing up on camera like it is in person, but shade 4 just looks a little bit more bronzy. So maybe you could wear shade 4 if you like that red undertone. I would just go in with the lightest hand. And obviously, once I put on a little bit of setting powder and kind of buff everything together, everything's gonna lighten up a little bit anyway. If you are someone that does not wear setting powder or any powders at all, you definitely do not need to go over top of this to buff it out. There are no harsh lines with this. There are no muddy spots. It's a really nice formula. On that regard, it is. So I am back. I went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup. Let's go ahead and jump into the swatches. I'm going to swatch both of these bronzers and compare them to a bunch of other bronzers that I have in my collection so you guys can get an idea of the tones and how they compare. And then we'll go ahead and jump into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so I am back to give my final thoughts on these new bronzers. I have been swatching literally for the last 5 hours. I also filmed the Chanel face and eye palettes, and so I had to do all the swatches for those and the swatches for the bronzers, and oh my gosh, my hands. I am like so exhausted. I do hope that the swatches of the bronzers were helpful. Let me go ahead and get into my final thoughts. So first things first, I don't have anything negative to say about the actual formula itself. It is a really beautiful formula, beautiful texture, melts into the skin. Like, this is one of those bronzers that's absolutely no fuss. You don't have to work hard to blend it in. If you're somebody that doesn't really like to go over your bronzer with powder, this is one of those that's just easy, always dependable, and looks beautiful. So if you're in the market for a really gorgeous bronzer, something that's super easy to blend, I think you'll probably enjoy this. However, on the flip side of that, I've never been a fan of the Hermes packaging. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I think it's quite flimsy and feels a little cheap for the price that they ask for, right? And I mean, I'm not asking for it to be a Birkin, I get it, but like, I've never been a fan of their packaging. It's just super flimsy, plasticky, and the only thing that's good is that they oftentimes do put pretty good products, right? So I don't know. If you're looking for that full luxurious experience when you're spending the $105, you might not really love the packaging, but if you have the blush or any of the other powders, like the translucent powders and stuff, and you don't mind the packaging, then I think you'll be fine with it. It's all gonna depend on preference, right? Are these fully necessary? Absolutely not. Is it going to be a bronzer that I'm gonna use? Absolutely, because I do think it's a nice bronzer. And I would say it's pretty equivalent to the Gucci Soleil. That bronzer is really soft and kind of buttery and really easy to blend. And I would say that this formula is very, very similar to the Gucci. And it just all depends if you're in the market and you're wanting to splurge on something this high price point. These are very pricey. They are. And do I feel like that this is like groundbreaking, revolutionary formula that, oh my gosh, it's worth every single penny of $105? No. It's all going to depend on if you want to splurge on it and enjoy it, right? I mean, that's the whole point of luxury makeup. Deciding what you want to splurge on, but just making dang good and sure that you enjoy it. And I do hope that the comparisons were helpful as far as shades go. Well, because the one thing that I can say about these two shades in particular is that they're really beautiful. Like, they're not too gray, they're not too warm, they're not too red. It's a really nice balance of the undertones. So obviously shade 3 is more of a warm base, right? And it does have a little bit of that orange base, but it's not too strong of an orange tone. And then shade 4 has that red tone, but it's not too strong of a red tone. So I think they did a great job in that regard. Here's the thing. If it was something that you wanted to splurge on, you won't be disappointed because it's a gorgeous formula, very buttery, easy to blend. And I kind of feel like if you're someone that struggles applying bronzer, you might really enjoy a bronzer like this or the ones from Gucci. To me, the Gucci one is just so good. I would say they weigh about the same, but I really love the Gucci packaging way more than I do the Hermes, but that's just me. I mean, it is what it is. It's preference. But overall, it's a 5 out of 5, but you're the one that has to decide if it's worth $105 of your hard-earned money, because it's quite pricey. It really is. It's what you come to expect from Hermes. I mean, some of their purses are like $25,000, up to $50,000. I mean, I don't even know. See, I don't even go down that Birkin road because I will never spend that kind of money on a purse. So I don't even care about it. I could care flippin' less. When I bought my last Louis Vuitton and I had to spend that much money, I was kind of sick about it. So it's like, it's an every couple of years saving my money type of situation. Right now with my daughter in college and stuff, I just don't have that kind of money to blow, right? So those are my overall thoughts. Sound off down below. How many of you guys have picked up these new bronzers? And what is your experience? I'm super curious. Are these on your radar? Are you not that interested? Sound off down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.